Before we begin, there is one change I need to make. In this version of the universe, the Kaioshin realm is accessible through ship travel. In the actual Dragon Ball universe, this should technically not be possible, since it's not inside the universe itself. Besides that, enjoy.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, the Kaioshin realm is a world beyond space, a world where gods live peacefully while watching over the universe. However, there was one point in history when the Kaioshin did not stop evil from spreading. That was the evil tyrant Frieza, whose paranoia drove him to destroy planet Vegeta. However, in the mists of death, a single pod blasted off into space onto an unknown world. Kakarot's parents, Gine and Bardock, had a destination in mind for their child, but unforeseen turbulence pushed the pod off and past the limits of space. Kakarot lands on the Kaioshin world, where he is found by Universe 7's Kaioshin. What will the Kaioshin do with the child? A legend is born now. Divinity and Innocence. What if Goku landed on the world of the Kais?
The two residents of the planet walked towards the pod that just crash-landed onto their planet. How could this be? They both wondered. No one was supposed to be able to just land on the planet. Kibito was ready to send it off again, or maybe even destroy it. However, Shin stepped up to it and watched the door open. Out of it came a small Saiyan child. He was very rowdy and pulled on Kibito's hair once he picked him up. Kibito pleaded to Shin to send him off, but Shin didn't want to just send a child off to die, so the Supreme Kai decided to bring him into his home. Sure, he didn't have any right to be there, but Shin saw something in him. While racing the Saiyan, they attempted their best to make him gain control over his own power and destructive capabilities. Kibito never really understood why Shin wanted to keep him around. Not only was he immortal, but also very weak. One day, while taking care of Goku, Shin took him up to where the sea sword was kept to look at the landscape around them and teach Goku where everything was. Goku tried to pull on the sea sword, and when he failed to pull it out, he fell off the top and cracked his head open while hitting the ground. Immediately, Shin and Kibito took care of the boy, and surprisingly, Kibito was the one most worried about him. Eventually, Goku got better and begins to act more happy and willing to learn. Goku will also turn into an Ozaru, as the Kaioshin's world has many moons orbiting it. They would be forced to cut off his tail, though this reinforces Kibito's dissatisfaction with the Saiyan. The tail would grow back, and Goku would learn not to look at the moon, but eventually the Ozaru would come out again, and they would be forced to cut it off again. Goku was taught to harness his ki, train his body, and expand his mind. This Goku maybe wouldn't be named Goku. However, some Kaioshin names are often based around mythical figures, or verbs. So, maybe he would be named Goku after all, since Son Wukong is a mythical figure. This Goku is also smarter and a lot tougher than the one in our universe at a young age. He would be taught many techniques by the Supreme Kai, including Kibito's Kai. Shin is also a lot stronger than Frieza and even Piccolo after the Cell Games, so Goku will grow up training with much more experience and powerful beings than that of Earth. Speaking of Earth, it is pretty much doomed to fall under Pilaf's rule, or a possible comeback by Piccolo. But back to the Kaioshin world. A few years pass, and a crash is heard in the outskirts of the river, while Goku and Shin trained a little. He had been trying to pull the sea sword out for a long time now, but still couldn't get there just yet. The three went to look at what happened, and found a similar ship to Goku's. Out of it came out a Saiyan, that said his name was Raditz, and he was Kakarot's brother.
Come on, Kakarot, together we can destroy these two weird-looking elves, I'm sure of it.
Goku had no idea what he was talking about, but wouldn't take his threats lightly. Goku smirked at his brother, and instantly rushed at him. The battle began with Raditz being easily overwhelmed by Goku. Kaioshin tried to get him to stop, but Kibito told him that this is something that Goku must definitely do by himself. Goku finished off the Saiyan and told him to leave off the world and never come back. Raditz attempted to attack Goku in the back as he turned, but Kibito appeared in front of Raditz and broke his hand before killing him. Goku was saddened, but he knew that Kibito had saved his life. He gave Raditz a chance, after all. Unknown to him, Raditz's scouter had sent a conversation to Vegeta and Nappa. They realized just how much power Kakarot had, and decided that they could need him and use him in the battle against Frieza. Maybe they would pay him a visit. Remember, this Raditz and Nappa don't know anything about the Dragon Balls, and neither does Frieza. they still want to take him down. And without the prospect of immortality, they need to look for other ways to be able to defeat the monster. Some time passed, and Goku wondered and asked about the Saiyans. He didn't believe everything Raditz told him. Shin would explain that he's a survivor from a long-dead warrior race, a bunch of space pirates that served under the Emperor Frieza. Goku is disappointed by the revelations of his past. He knew he was different, but he didn't like the fact that he belonged to a race of murderers. Despite his better judgment, he asked,
But what happened to them? Why am I here?
Shin looked down at his feet, not wanting to answer the question. Kibito stepped forward instead and explained that Frieza, the man they had worked for many years, had killed them all. Goku was one of the very few survivors. The man was very upset. Though he hated the Saiyans, he became even more upset that this Frieza guy hadn't been taken care of by Supreme Kai. They told Goku not to do anything drastic. Goku kept the distrust of the Kaioshin in his heart for some time, but continued his training, every day getting a little closer to taking out the Z-Sword. But suddenly, 2 more pods crashed. Damn it, Shin thought. They should have seen this coming. Once again, they met the 2 Saiyans. It boggled Shin's mind to realize just how easily accessible the Kaioshin realm was to some of these people. They decided that after this, they had to destroy all the ships that had crash landed.
Kakarot, this planet, how did you come to land here?
Vegeta asked. Nappa wanted to get rid of the other 2, but Vegeta stopped him.
No need, Nappa. We're here for Kakarot. We know how powerful you are. It's despicable that a low-class Saiyan scum like you could be so strong, and I want to see for myself just how powerful.
Without warning, Vegeta came in to attack Goku. The battle was intense, but Goku had more power than the Saiyans anticipated. At one point, Vegeta even called forward Nappa to join in the battle, and Goku barely struggled against the 2 Saiyans at once. Goku defeated them. Vegeta was upset, but he knew better than to blow up on his face. He couldn't win. Instead, he turned towards his ship.
I'm going against my morals since you're low-class trash, but I'm sure you know that Nappa and I want to take down Frieza. We could use your power on our team when the time comes.
Shin was flabbergasted. So this is what the Saiyans wanted. Vegeta and Nappa left, and Goku stood there in silence. A few nights passed, and Shin told Goku that Frieza isn't matters that he should care about. That, while he's a tyrant, he isn't a universal threat like Majin Buu. It's below the Kaioshin's pay grade. Goku turned back to look at him.
You taught me right from wrong, and what Frieza's doing, it's completely awful.
Shin glanced over at Kibito, who had his eyes closed. Shin knew that Goku needed closure in this, so he waved him off. Goku nodded, placed 2 fingers on his forehead, and searched for Vegeta's energy.
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back. And now back to our show.
He appeared in front of Vegeta and Nappa at a distant planet.
I'll take care of Frieza myself.
Vegeta grabbed Goku by the collar of his outfit,
Frieza is mine, Kakarot.
but Goku wasn't hearing it. He didn't want to think about it, but he knew that Vegeta would try to become the Emperor after Frieza's death. That time would come eventually, but for now, they needed to focus on Frieza. The 3 headed to Frieza's chambers, where Goku introduced himself as the Saiyan who had come to defeat him. Frieza laughed and sent Zarbon and Dodoria to attack him. Goku ignored them and rushed straight to Frieza, sucker punching him across the room. Meanwhile, Zarbon and Dodoria were fighting Vegeta and Nappa. The 2 had gotten a significant boost in power after Goku's battle, so they stood a chance. Vegeta in particular. Goku and Frieza's battle would take them outside, where the city around them would begin to crumble. Soldiers tried to attack Goku, but Frieza yelled at them that this was his battle. Goku pushed Frieza all the way to his 3rd form. Remember, Goku learned and trained with those who could have killed Frieza in a single blow. Though Goku is still not nearly as strong as them, he's a lot stronger than the Goku we know during the Frieza saga. Vegeta had defeated a bunch of Frieza soldiers, including Zarbon and Dodoria, though he needed Nappa's help to defeat Zarbon, and Nappa died in the process, but Vegeta could take care of most of the remaining Frieza soldiers. That was, until the Ginyu Force showed up. Frieza stepped back from the battle for a second, and let the Ginyu Force battle Goku and Vegeta. The battles took some time, with 2-on-2s. Goku defeated Goldo and helped Vegeta defeat Recoome. Vegeta was very hurt, but he also helped in the battle against Jeice and Burger. Finally, it was time for Ginyu. Vegeta tried to keep helping, but he was hurt. He wanted to go after Frieza, so Vegeta threw up an artificial moon. Frieza damned the world and sent his remaining forces against Vegeta. Meanwhile, Ginyu tried to switch bodies with Goku, but Goku used his Kai and teleported away, which caused Ginyu to exchange bodies with Goldo instead. You see, none of the Ginyu force had been killed, except for Recoome, whom Vegeta finished off. However, Vegeta wanted to kill them all, and turned his gaze at Goldo, Ginyu, and the rest, blasting them off with his Ozaru mouth. Goku didn't want to kill them, but he wasn't going to protest. He tried to head to Frieza, but Vegeta slapped him out of the way. This didn't go down well for Vegeta, especially after Frieza reached his final form, where he cut off his tail. Vegeta was pushed aside in his regular state. Goku took this opportunity to go in and rush at Frieza with all his might, and he was at the very least equal to Frieza, but most likely high above him. They were both tired and beat. Goku then asked,
Why kill and take over all these planets? You've left children and families destroyed!
Frieza laughed coldly, and simply said that it was nothing personal. This ticked off Goku, and he could only think of all those he must have killed. Goku exploded in anger as the city shook around them, and his aura sparked up. Goku had become a Super Saiyan. Vegeta was in awe, but he also damped the world. Goku wasted little time as he battled Frieza. Frieza even tried to destroy the planet, with no luck, as Goku slapped his death ball away and into a nearby star. Goku finally punched Frieza one last time, which left him immobilized. The Saiyan began to walk away, telling Frieza to leave. Frieza used his last bit of energy to attempt to blast Goku, to which Goku responded by quickly turning around, ready to block the attack. However, the attack never even touched him, as Frieza hit the floor, dead. Vegeta had blasted through Frieza's chest. Goku looked at Vegeta sternly. Before leaving, Goku warned Vegeta not to do anything like Frieza did. Otherwise, he would come after him too. But they gave a light smile to each other.
Next time, I'll be the winner.
Back at the Kaioshin realm, Goku was greeted by Kibito and Shin, who were surprised by his new state. It was incredible power that they did not expect from any mortal. He is stronger than Goku in the original story. Though Kibito looks down upon this, Shin thinks that it's time to give Goku one last shot at the Sea Sword, as he believes Goku would be the one to eventually defeat Majin Buu if needed. They were proud of what he did against Frieza, and got closure against his enemy. They all gathered around as Goku's energy spiked up when he became a Super Saiyan. Slowly, the sword moved off the rock until it finally freed itself. It was very heavy, and Goku needed some time to adjust to it. He was incredibly happy and already felt strong. Time passed as he trained with the Sea Sword. Years even. One day, Goku challenged Shin to see how strong the Sea Sword is, and he strikes Kachin metal with the sword, breaking it in half. The team is terrified at first, until they hear a weird voice. The old Kaioshin had been released from the Sea Sword that Beerus had hid him inside long ago. Goku wants to get to know his secrets immediately, but he asks for a pretty girl. Otherwise, he will not help. Goku doesn't know any women, so sadly he can't help the old geezer. Kibito and Shin approached the old Kai about it, and explained that Goku is their ticket to defeat the universe's greatest threat. The old Kai reluctantly agrees, and begins to unlock Goku's hidden potential. Years passed without a peep from Buu, and Goku has become essentially the universe's greatest protector. One day, Kaioshin and Kibito catch wind from those on Earth, which is mostly humans and demons from Piccolo's army. The three head down to Earth and find Babidi's ship after following some of Babidi's men. There were swarms of Majins and demons all around that they all had to defeat, though it was fairly easy for all of them. Even Piccolo was taken down in the process. Goku takes care of the evildoers, including Dabura. However, all of this generates a lot of energy for Buu's revival, though not nearly as much as the one in the original story, as there aren't as many powerful beings on Earth. But Goku was way too fast for Babidi, and beat down the villain. Goku took one breath. He knew this was what he was training for his entire life. He had to kill Babidi, and so he did. Finally, Goku had accomplished his mission of stopping Buu's revival and saving the universe. He could live peacefully for now. But before he did, he searched for the energy of an old ally. Goku teleported and found Vegeta sitting on a throne of a planet. It looked to be solitary, with no life in sight. Goku smirked at Vegeta, who told them that he had been challenging warriors from across the universe and learning to be able to defeat him all these years, though he thought about starting his own army. Goku said that he simply wanted to battle him. To his surprise, Vegeta had learned to obtain Super Saiyan, and a level above that, Super Saiyan 2. Goku smiled, and the battle began. Obviously, Goku would win, which is why he limited himself so the battle would be fair. Even so, Goku was winning, but he was quite impressed by Vegeta's techniques. He looked forward to their next battle, and hoped that he would become stronger too. The battle was declared a draw. Goku then headed back to the Kaioshin realm to celebrate. Goku sat quietly in a desolate field. Petals fell from the trees surrounding him, and he could feel everything in the world. The trees, the rocks, even the old Kai taking a nap. He felt their ki flow throughout. Ever since his last battle with Vegeta, Goku realized that he needed to get stronger if he wanted to ensure the universe would be alright. Vegeta was out there somewhere, training in order to surpass him. He couldn't keep his guard down. He then felt a great disturbance as Shin and Kibito rushed over to him. The Saiyan opened his eyes and tilted his head. He wondered what all the commotion was about and questioned them. He wasn't ready to hear the answer. 2 simple words. Lord Beerus. Goku's eyes widened. Having lived his whole life in the Kaioshin realm, Goku was already knowledgeable on the subject of deities. Lord Beerus was one of the most feared ones. As Goku stood up, Kibito placed a hand on his shoulder, telling him to keep his head down and mouth shut if he came to the planet. Before Goku could even answer, a flash of light blinded everybody. Before them appeared the god of destruction, Lord Beerus, and his master.
Ah, Kaioshin, Kibito. It's good to see you. And of course, old Kai. My apologies for Lord Beerus trapping you in the sword last time.
The purple god stepped out from behind his angel, with a smirk across his face.
Whis, he deserved it.
Shin and the others laughed nervously. Goku, who had his head down, glanced over at Beerus. Their eyes met instantly.
Oh, who's this?
He's nobody.
I'm Goku. I live here. Shin and Kibito took me in.
Ah, so you're some kind of Kaioshin in training.
Beerus said as he examined Goku. Then Whis cleared his throat.
Lord Beerus, this is the Saiyan I told you about.
Beerus nodded, as if he already knew that. He then proceeded to ask him about the Super Saiyan God legend. Goku had no idea what he was talking about, but told him that he had the ability to transform into a Super Saiyan. Though Beerus asked for him to show it, Goku said that his power as a Super Saiyan isn't as impressive as what it is when he's in full power now that he has had his potential unleashed by the old Kai. Goku expanded his aura and his ki began to rise. Beerus smirked. He just knew that this was the same Saiyan from his premonition about the Super Saiyan God. However, this power was still not close to the one he imagined. Beerus sighed and said that he would have to go and investigate a little more about the Saiyan God, and said goodbye to them before leaving. This Goku is much more reserved than the one we know, so he actually doesn't ask for a fight. Instead, he decides to go and try to find whatever he can about the Super Saiyan God. Before then, however, Kaioshin yells at him for speaking to Beerus at all, and prohibits him from going out and trying to find out more. Goku reminded Shin that they have already had this conversation before, and it ended up with him liberating the universe from Frieza. If this power could help him defend the universe from future tyrants, then he needed to find it. Reluctantly, Kaioshin agreed to let him be. Goku decided that his first step to finding about the legend was going to be to find Vegeta. He was much more knowledgeable in the subject of Saiyans than he was after all. Goku searched for the key of his old rival through the universe, finding him in a small planet named Yardrat. In the blink of an eye, Goku was gone, but he wasn't alone. Shin and Kibito actually went with him. He argued with them about it, but they wouldn't budge. They insisted on coming along with him. They quickly find Vegeta, who smirked at the sight of Goku.
Ah, Kakarot, we meet again.
Goku looked around Vegeta. He was surrounded by aliens kneeling before him and some Yardrats standing tall. Goku asked what was going on, and Vegeta explained that the power vacuum created after Frieza's death allowed for him to start his own band of mercenaries. However, they only sold a handful of planets before stumbling upon Yardrat. There, Vegeta trained and learned. He respected the Yardrats, and they respected him. His band of mercenaries made a home there. Goku didn't know if to even ask a question about the planet conquering, but he left that aside. He wasn't sure if he even believed him, but Vegeta looked much different from before. tougher, rougher, and even had an eye covered by an eye patch. His armor was broken and beaten in places, and he wore some kind of fur cape. Clearly, Vegeta has seen a lot of action since their last battle. The prince explains that King Cold and the remaining Frieza forces went after him, since they couldn't find Goku. That's where he lost his eye, but he was still able to defeat him. He then pointed over to a pile of junk. That was actually the mothership they had stolen. He also mentioned that, though the Yarjats offered him an outfit to train in, he decided that he liked his Saiyan armor a bit more. Kibito and Shin winced. They both thought he smelled pretty bad. Goku was starting to get excited. His rival was really getting stronger. But there was no time. He asked Vegeta if he knew anything about the Super Saiyan God. Vegeta shook his head. He said that he only heard about the Super Saiyan, and they both already achieved that legend. But he did have an idea on how to find out if it was that urgent. Along his travels, he heard whispers that Planet Namek had great knowledge about the universe, and even a wishing dragon. He wanted to head that way anyways, and told Goku that if they found out, then he would have to use that power to defeat Goku. Shin and Kibito scoffed at the idea, but Goku accepted. He put his hand on Vegeta's shoulder, ready to teleport. Vegeta slapped his hand away.
I can do it myself! Team, take care of this place and the ship while I'm gone.
He put 2 fingers up to his forehead and teleported to Namek. Once there, the team headed to the nearest Namekian village. The Namekians were very welcoming, even in the face of Vegeta's rudeness. Kaioshin and Kibito were very thankful, and they are told about the Grand Elder. Together, they go to the Grand Elder's place. There, they found an older Namekian named Neo, and a younger one named Dende. But the main attraction was Muri, the Grand Elder. They are surprised to be face to face with the Kaioshin, and say that they will help however they can. The Saiyans ask about the Super Saiyan God legend, and the Namekians tell him that there was once a book full of legends through the universe. However, that knowledge has been long lost from the Namekians. Perhaps Purunga, a dragon even older than they are, holds the knowledge they seek. The Namekians were willing to allow the Kaioshin to use the Dragon Balls, but weren't too trusting of Vegeta. They had heard rumors that new factions were being created after the defeat of an emperor, and he matched the description of one of the leaders. Vegeta smirked. Goku stared down at Vegeta, warning him not to do anything stupid. The team then gathers the Dragon Balls, and Dende helps with wishing for the new information. Purunga explained that there was once a powerful warrior that had such power, and he had the help of another 5 Saiyans. But his information was as limited as they thought it would be. Even so, they realized that they needed to do a ritual with 5 other Saiyans in order to achieve that power. He then asked for another wish. Then they asked if they needed anything else to ask, and Vegeta, seeing his opportunity, places a hand on Dende's shoulder, making him feel the ki charging up.
Ask him for me to have eternal life.
Goku quickly rushed at the aid of Dende, but Vegeta managed to dodge the attack and punch Goku in the gut.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted you.
Vegeta was much stronger than the last time they fought. Even so, Goku was above his league. A small fight ensued, though Vegeta was very agile and never let go of Dende. Vegeta then shook Dende to make him say the wish, but Vegeta was flicked in the back of the head, sending him off flying. Lord Beerus and his master had arrived.
I knew that sooner or later we'd end up on Namek. Seems like you figured it out, didn't you?
The Saiyan nodded, looking over to see if Vegeta was alright. Vegeta rushed in to fight Beerus, but Kibito and Shin jumped in front of him to stop him. Right then, Vegeta got a good look. Lord Beerus, the same one that had made his father cower many years ago. Goku explained that they do not have a way of summoning the power forward. There needs to be 5 Saiyans, and they only have 2. The angel chimed in, saying that there were some other Saiyans alive in the universe, but not enough to make the ritual. Beerus was getting impatient, and rose up to the sky. He was going to destroy planet Namek. His master suggested something about Universe 6, but Beerus dismissed it, saying that there's no way he's asking for help from his brother. Goku tried to think of something, anything. All he could do is show Beerus his power, try to make him see that there's still something he can do, some way, somehow. Goku yelled at Vegeta to power up alongside him. Though hesitant at first, Vegeta complied, and together the Saiyans powered up to their limit. Vegeta in Super Saiyan 2, and Goku in his mystic state. As Beerus launched his sphere, the two Saiyans tanked it, nearly absorbing the power onto themselves. Shin and Kibito screamed at Beerus to stop. They cared so much about Goku. A scream was heard, along with a faint roar. But then, there was a flash of light. Goku and Vegeta were unconscious on the ground, and everyone was still alive. Beerus had a slight smirk and told his master to bring the Saiyans along. Shin tried to stop him, telling him that Goku is basically his son. Beerus looked sternly at Shin and told him that he's only going to show him the ropes a bit more. He was confused, and the angel winked at Shin. Before they knew it, Beerus was gone.
Lord Beerus, why did you hold back on that attack?
Whis, don't act like you didn't see it either. The ki this Saiyan was emitting, it was almost godlike. Though not as powerful. It might have something to do with having lived his life with the Kais.
You're right, Lord Beerus. I've been observing him for quite some time before you woke up. He is impressive. And I can see why you brought the other one. When fighting, they take each other to another level unlike any other rivalry I'd ever seen. But how do you plan on obtaining this god power to fight?
That's on you, Whis. You'll figure it out as you train them.
Train them?
Goku and Vegeta woke up in an unfamiliar place. The only other person there was Whis, who told them to attack. Goku was skeptical, but without question Vegeta went in for a hook. Swiftly, the angel spun around Vegeta and barely touched him with the staff. Vegeta crashed onto the ground below. Goku laughed, but the angel glanced back, challenging him to come at him. Goku finally agreed to, actually managing to dodge the same attack that brought Vegeta down. The white figure was already behind him, pushing him against Vegeta. Whis said that if they wanted to get stronger, if they really wanted to challenge Lord Beerus and satisfy him, keep him from destroying Planet Namek or any other planet, at least for now, then they needed to train with him. They were all confused, but he explained that this was actually Lord Beerus' idea, though he would never admit it. For now, he was sleeping, and he sneezed when his name was mentioned. Vegeta made it clear that if he was there to train, it was for his own sake, and not for any planets. Goku admitted that he wasn't doing it for that reason either. He was taught that destruction was a part of life, and he didn't want to stop Beerus from destroying any planets. However, when mortals try to hurt the innocent, that's when he steps in. A smirk curved on Whis' face. These Saiyans were a lot more interesting than he imagined. He told them that it was fine. Their training starts right away. What followed was a rough 2 years for the duo. Through that time, they learned to live together and deal with their differences. Vegeta would check back with his crew and the Yardrats periodically, and Goku with the Kais. This all culminated in Goku and Vegeta spending a long time in a different dimension, where they slowly figured out a way into godhood. Similarly to how Vegeta achieved it, there was no ritual required, simply intense training by a divine figure in this strange dimension. Goku had an easier time achieving it, as he was more familiar with what God Ki is supposed to be. Though Vegeta is very powerful, he hasn't had the experiences canon Vegeta has, such as the battle against Majin Buu and Cell. So this Vegeta is weaker than the canon one in the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan state. This Goku, on the other hand, is slightly stronger than canon Goku at this point. However, he lacks the martial arts expertise and isn't as smart when it comes to fighting. For example, he even lacks the Kaioken. After all, he is basically a Kaioshin in training. He didn't need to worry about training under the lower gods. Anyways, as the Saiyans trained together, the two got stronger and stronger. They really pushed each other to their limits. The angel was proud, and Beerus woke up not long after. After Goku and Vegeta came out of the dimension, they had a grand feast and showered. They were pumped and ready for the match of their lives. Beerus and the Saiyans stared each other down. As per his request, they were already in their god state. The angel proclaimed the start of the battle, and the two Saiyans rushed towards the god of destruction. He is surprised by just how fast they are, but speed isn't going to be enough to beat him. Goku and Vegeta showed great sync when fighting, and they took Beerus on either side of him. However, Beerus was still faster and more aware of his surroundings. The battle went on for a while with no clear winner. The battle came to a head when Vegeta and Goku used their respective teleportation techniques to distract the god of destruction. In the midst of teleporting, both Goku and Vegeta fired their respective blasts. This seemingly ended the fight, But once the smoke cleared, Beerus was nowhere to be found. Vegeta felt something wrap around his leg, and Goku got his head grabbed by the back. Beerus had taken his tail to grab Vegeta and smash him against Goku. They fell to the ground in pain, and Beerus started to charge up a final attack. But Goku and Vegeta weren't done just yet, and they put together one last attack. This was going to be the deciding move. Just then, however, a scream was heard. Kaioshin had teleported in the middle of the battle and fell to the ground with the old Kai. Shin was very hurt, and the old Kai wasn't looking his best either. Kibito was nowhere to be found. Beerus crossed his arms, and Goku asked what happened. Kaioshin simply said, Frieza. Goku and Vegeta looked at each other, terrified. Could it be that Frieza had returned? Goku ran over to Shin and helped him up. He tried to get something out of him, anything, but he was losing consciousness quickly. Beerus, whose own life was in danger thanks to the link between the Kaioshin and himself, grabbed onto him and brought him over to Whis.
I don't know what's going on, but I will make whoever did this pay. No, I will!
Beerus looked confused at the two Saiyans, insulted even, but he saw the fire in their eyes. For Goku, this was about avenging his friends, and for Vegeta, it was about finally defeating his tormentor. He understood. Plus, it would mean he wouldn't have to work too hard. Though Beerus did want to kill whoever almost killed him, he was willing to see just what the Saiyans had.
Fine, but don't come running to me if you die.
Goku teleported over to the Kaioshin realm, and Vegeta followed soon after. What they found there made Goku's heart shatter. Though the Kaioshin realm was much tougher than most planets, it wasn't invincible. In fact, there was a giant hole right through the center of the planet. Goku and Vegeta approached it.
Kibito, where are you?
There was no sign of life anywhere. Goku was a little sad and nostalgic to see his home destroyed, but there was no time to grieve. Goku asked Vegeta if he knew anywhere else Frieza could have gone. Vegeta was going to answer, but then he felt a sharp pain on his shoulder. He fell to his knees, and Goku looked up to find a small ship hovering over the planet, and a small alien on it. It was obvious that it was one of Frieza's men, and he had shot Vegeta with a ring blast.
Men, attack! Vegeta! Right behind you, Kakarot!
Vegeta jumped backwards to face another set of soldiers. Now, back to back, Vegeta and Goku fought dozens of Frieza soldiers. None of them could stand up against them, but they seemed endless. Plus, Vegeta's arm was very hurt. Goku and Vegeta both burst into Super Saiyan in order to fight, but the aura burst from the transformation alone was enough to blow away some of the villains. There was no time to waste, and the enemies wouldn't stop. Goku began to fly away with Vegeta on his tail. He yelled back,
Vegeta, Namek! What? Why? Just trust me!
The two Saiyans instantly teleported to Namek, as a giant blast from the Frieza forces evaporated. Sorbet damned the Saiyans as they escaped. But now, on Namek, Goku and Vegeta could rest for a second, right? No, of course not. Though far away, they saw a Frieza ship hovering over the Grand Elder's house. Vegeta looked over at the person he had locked onto to teleport, and it was one of his own soldiers from his band of mercenaries. No wonder he locked onto him so quickly. He recognized the key. It had been months since he had last seen them. For the sake of having some familiarity here, let's say it was one of the guys from Turles' squad, Kakao.
What the hell are you doing here? Where's the rest?
It was Frieza's army. They ended up at Yardran. They said if we joined them, they wouldn't hurt the Yardran. You know we couldn't have let them die.
Vegeta hated to admit it, but he did end up loving the people of that planet. But then he realized Kakao said they had joined Frieza. Kakao explained that he would never betray Vegeta, and that he was sure the rest of his squad wouldn't either. He was away from the main ship because they were tasked with looking for a Namekian.
Yeah, apparently Frieza needs him to use something called the Dragon Ball.
Goku and Vegeta looked at each other concerned. So that's what it was. They needed to stop Frieza. But there was still one issue. How was Frieza revived in the first place? They didn't have time to answer the question. As a group of Frieza soldiers attacked, Kakao helped them escape by serving as a distraction, promising to join up with them soon. He had been training with Vegeta before he left to train with Beerus, so he was quite powerful in his own right. Vegeta and Goku rushed at the Grand Elder's house, finding some soldiers there. They had to hide their ki in order to not be noticed, though some of the soldiers were leaving after finding a ki spike caused by the fight with Kakao. Vegeta and Goku managed to hide their ki, running to the base of the Grand Elder's place. they heard a voice cackle.
So, the Saiyans ended up at Kaioshin's place. No matter, they will end up here soon enough. I have one of their friends.
At Frieza's feet laid Kibito, barely alive from his wounds. Goku was clearly upset, but Vegeta pointed at something. Next to Kibito was the body of Murray, the Grand Elder they had met 2 years ago. So that's what happened. Meanwhile, at Beerus' planet, Kaioshin, who was a little better than before, explained the situation to the two.
The Namekians. They had been asking for our help, but we didn't see it until it was too late. The Frieza force. They arrived and killed so many in order to revive Frieza. They managed to capture a Namekian and forced him to summon the dragon and wish for Frieza to return.
Kaioshin coughed up some blood, and the old Kai took on the story.
They also forced him to wish for Frieza to come to Namek. They had one wish left and Frieza asked for immortality, but...
Nail, kill me, but Elder, now!
The Dragon Balls stopped working, and Frieza took his anger down on the whole population, using the time to train himself for months. He became an incredible power, torturing the Namekians until someone let it spill that they could make a new set of Dragon Balls with a Dragon Clan member. But Frieza became impatient, leaving his forces to look for survivors while he came to our planet. He almost killed us. He destroyed half the world. He was looking for Kakarot. Kibito helped us escape. That's how we ended up like this.
Goku rushed in to fight Frieza, landing a punch straight across the Emperor's face. Caught off guard, Frieza was sent flying off, but all the soldiers began to attack Goku. Vegeta jumped out, coming after Frieza while Goku took care of the soldiers attacking him. Frieza quickly recovered, bursting his aura open as he transformed into his final form. Frieza was glad to see Vegeta. Finally, he'd be able to kill the prince. Frieza raised his finger, charging up a death beam. Vegeta was ready for it, as he appeared behind Frieza, flipping him backwards and slamming him against the ground. Frieza swiped his tail, tipping over Vegeta. Goku kept the enemies at bay, easily being able to defeat them. Once it was over, Goku burst his aura into a mystic state to fight Frieza.
My turn! Kakarot!
Goku stole the fight, and Frieza got a huge smirk. He wanted to show them his full power.
My, the Saiyans have gotten stronger. But don't worry, I have a challenge for you two. Inspired by your Super Saiyan. This would have been more spectacular if I had gotten my wish for immortality, but that damn Namekian had to die. No matter, soon enough you'll be dead too.
The planet began to shake, with every scouter exploding around. Frieza transformed his body into a golden one. Then, he taunted the Saiyans, telling them to transform into Super Saiyans. It wouldn't matter. Goku and Vegeta smirked at each other. In an instant, there was a flash of blue light and Vegeta burst into Super Saiyan Blue. Frieza wasn't fazed. They couldn't be much stronger than him, he thought. Vegeta rushed in first, fighting Frieza head-on. Vegeta is weaker than Goku in this universe, and Frieza got a little more time to train than in Resurrection F. This means that Frieza is actually pretty on par with Vegeta. Goku ran over to Kibito, but he was not responding. He was breathing, but he would not wake up. The fight between Frieza and Vegeta continued, but Goku heard a huge explosion behind him. Vegeta had been pushed into a volcano. Goku needed to go help Vegeta, but he felt multiple ki blasts hit his body. It seemed as if all of Frieza's men had arrived at the scene from all over the planet. Goku couldn't escape the barrage easily, but slowly they ceased. Goku opened his eyes and saw all of Vegeta's squadmates protecting him, with Kakao leading them. Kakao yelled back at Goku, telling him to help Vegeta. Goku nodded and rushed in to fight Frieza. The two's fight was a lot of fun for Goku, but Vegeta was a little upset. Goku quickly realized just how powerful Frieza had become, transforming into his Super Saiyan Blue state. And then, it was over for Frieza. Goku was too powerful for him. Frieza, though, had something else in mind. As Goku got ready to fire a final blast at Frieza, he whispered something.
But how could Frieza be so powerful? He was nothing the last time I saw him. He has a new form, but beyond that, he has a new ally.
Goku was shot and sent flying back onto the ship. Vegeta looked back to see who shot Goku, and his eyes widened. A tail whipped from behind the person, a man in white holding a smoking gun.
Well, if it isn't Prince Vegeta.
Paragus then shot a bunch of blasts at Vegeta. The prince was able to block them all, but he did have to step back towards the ship where Goku was. Vegeta's blue aura pushed him upwards from the destroyed ship. An explosion trailed behind him as he left it. The gunfire did little to him, but it did allow Frieza a chance to recover and zoom towards the soldiers. Frieza reverted back to his final form, sitting down on his chair. As he sat down, a large man stood next to him, throwing a defeated Kakao on the ground. Vegeta's own squad, who had tried to help Kakao too, were all spread out on the battlefield, defeated along with Frieza's soldiers. Kibito was finally coming to his senses, and all he could see was Kakarot's legs in front of him, with a fiery blue aura.
A Saiyan?
That's right, Vegeta. I heard you gained incredible power and led your own pirate band. How cute. But you never bothered considering those your father cast away for your gang? Frieza did. Now it's over for you. Broly!
Vegeta and Goku took a step back as they watched the tall Saiyan with no tail step forward. Broly, huh? Neither Goku nor Vegeta knew what was going on. Meanwhile, Whis finished healing the two Kais. Thanks to the old Kai's crystal ball, they were able to watch the events in real time.
Oh? That's Saiyan. He has a latent power similar to Vegeta and Kakarot's. How's that possible?
Kaioshin winced. That had been the Saiyan that helped the Frieza Force attack them. Could the heroes really take him down? Goku rushed towards Broly. There was little time to waste. Paragus raised his hand, summoning Broly to the battlefield. Goku was clearly on top, beating Broly onto the ground. Frieza was disappointed at the sight, but Goku realized that Broly wasn't putting up too much of a fight. He was clearly powerful, but nothing compared to him. Goku stopped himself, asking why he was fighting at all, before being struck by a right hook to the face. Goku had to stay defensive. Vegeta laughed, rising up to Paragus and grabbing him by the collar.
What is this, a joke? This weak Saiyan can't take us on.
Vegeta then punched Paragus in the stomach. Goku heard the punch and looked back, stopping the fight. Broly's eyes shook. Goku glanced back at Broly, then heard another punch. Vegeta was beating Paragus.
Wait, Vegeta, stop!
The ground under their feet began to shake violently as the beating continued. Goku had no choice but to blast at Vegeta to keep him away from Paragus, but it was too late. Vegeta was knocked onto the ground, where he realized how violently it shook. The two Saiyans looked at Broly, whose eyes glowed yellow with anger, and his muscles bulged up. The planet cracked as Broly entered his enraged, savage state. Paragus gulped, terrified of Broly's power. This form was his full Ozaru power in humanoid form. They were all doomed. Planet Namek and whatever Namekians were left cried out in fear, hiding. Frieza finally got a smirk on his face, but he wanted Vegeta dead too. Now that he had gotten a little of his composure back, Frieza rose from his chair and zoomed in to attack Vegeta, distracted. Vegeta was caught by Frieza's tail and thrown onto a rock formation. The two battles continued, with Paragus watching as the world shattered apart around him. Kibito didn't have any power. He needed to regain his energy before he could do anything. Goku was finally starting to get a little overwhelmed by Broly. This state was so new to them that they weren't used to it. Meanwhile, Vegeta was having a fun match against Frieza. They were a lot more evenly matched than Goku and Broly, as it seemed that Broly just kept getting stronger and stronger with every punch. But Vegeta thought to himself, why isn't Kakarot fighting in full power? He knew there was more in store, but Goku knew exactly why. He knew that Broly wasn't fighting because he wanted to. It was because of his father or Frieza, right? He didn't seem to be entirely under his own control. Paragus' finger nervously shook over the button of the remote. He had to stop Broly before he killed everyone. Broly blasted Goku across the ocean, and the scared Paragus finally pressed it. Broly screamed out in pain. Goku looked over at Paragus, and so did Frieza.
Stop it! You're killing him!
Stop it! The monkey was almost defeated!
As if in unison, both Goku and Frieza blasted at Paragus. While Goku aimed at his hand, Frieza aimed at his heart. Paragus tried to dodge away from the death beam, but this simply pushed him into Goku's attack. Paragus died instantly, but Broly stopped being electrocuted. Goku cursed under his breath, spinning to face Broly. What he saw he was not prepared for. Broly grabbed his head in pain, exploding in a golden aura full of incredible ki. Goku, Vegeta, Kibito, and Frieza were all pushed away. Broly rushed to Goku, attacking him relentlessly. Frieza realized just what kind of monster he had unleashed on the planet. He needed to get away, but Vegeta wouldn't let him. In fact, when Broly exploded his aura in a barrage of ki bullets, Vegeta grabbed a hold of Frieza in a full Nelson and appeared in front of every ki ball, using Frieza as a meat shield. Frieza was severely hurt by every ki ball. Finally, Frieza managed to get away, rushing up to the sky. He wasn't about to die alone, he thought, as he threw down a giant death ball. Broly and Goku's fight was intense, and the two punched each other into opposite ends of the key ball. The explosion pushed the water from the ocean up in the sky, and Goku and Broly stared each other down, panting, looking into each other's eyes through the water. The water rained on them, soaking the fighters. But as soon as the last drop splashed onto the ground, the fight continued. The death ball would destroy the planet just as Frieza planned. Vegeta joined in the battle against Broly. Frieza had seemingly disappeared, but in reality, he had escaped to a space pod in his ship. It worked, regardless of the damage. A power ball was launched. Vegeta looked up. So there he was. Vegeta got ready to blast it down, but Broly grabbed Vegeta by the face and smashed it against Goku. Frieza escaped, and the Saiyans were doomed. Or so he thought. After all, Goku can teleport freely, but with Broly beating on them, he couldn't just do it easily. In fact, their power was running out severely low because of how much damage they had taken.
Why isn't he using his earrings? Earrings?
Whis nodded, and telepathically told Goku and Vegeta about the potential victory through this fusion method. But Planet Namek didn't have much time. They needed to do this quickly. Vegeta was punched away by Broly, and Goku onto the ground. Hurt, Goku managed to take off his right Potara earring. Broly jumped onto Goku's back, just as he yelled for Vegeta's attention. Goku dropped the Potara. He tried to grab it again, but Broly jumped on his back one more time. This time, the Potara flew out of his hand and onto the lava. The old Kai yelled out a defeated no. Goku too got a tear in his eye. He had failed to protect the universe he promised to. Frieza was free, and they would all die to this monster. Vegeta's hand was shaking, as he had seen the Potara fall onto the lava. He of course didn't want to fuse, but this was their only option. But his name rang on his ear. Vegeta turned to meet the eyes of Kibito down below. Kibito threw something at Vegeta, who caught it gracefully. It was Kibito's right Potara. Since Goku and Kibito both had an earring on the same ear, they wouldn't fuse. Kibito took off his other Potara, so Vegeta's would be attracted to Goku's. Kibito smiled, nodding at Vegeta. Vegeta hurried and placed the earring on his ear. Just as Broly jumped one more time on Goku's back, a white light flashed and Goku's body slid off from under Broly and towards Vegeta's. A volcano exploded in the distance as a new power was born. The fusion smirked, staring down at Broly while standing with his arms crossed. Instantly, Vegeta burst into Super Saiyan Blue. The battle begins once more, and the heroes finally stand a chance. Vegeta launches a barrage of kicks against Broly, who manages to catch one of them in the middle, throwing Vegeta down. However, on his way down, Vegeta points his arm out, unleashing his Keyblade and piercing through Broly's arm. The fusion spins gracefully as he lands on the ground, slamming Broly down with the blade. Kaioshin realizes something. There are still some soldiers and Namekians, and some of Vegeta's squad alive on planet Namek. They had to save them. He was really the only one who could help though, so little by little he teleported over to Namek, grabbing whatever person he could lock onto and taking them to Beerus' planet. Beerus hated the idea, but he was too engrossed in the fight to care. Broly opened his mouth, firing a Ki Blast cannon at Vegito. The fusion, however, split himself into two, then four. The blast didn't hit any of them. Instead, they all rushed down to Broly, firing a Ki Blast through their fingers. From every angle, Broly was overwhelmed, and he expanded his aura to knock Vegeta away. In the process, the aura managed to catch Kaioshin by surprise, who had just teleported back to save someone. Kaioshin was knocked out instantly, blown away against the mountain. Beerus was getting nervous, but it would take too long for Whis to take them there. What could he do? As the battle against the fusion continued, there was times where they would disappear and reappear in midair, as if facing through space and time. Finally though, Vegito needed to finish it all. Broly threw Vegito up in the air, throwing ki balls at him to keep pushing him up. Vegito disappeared from sight, way up high, and Broly took a deep breath, but then heard,
Final!
Broly looked up. It was Vegito coming down like a missile, hands cuffed and full of blue and golden energy.
Kamehameha!
Broly and the whole plane he stood on shattered into pieces as the two Saiyans defused into Goku and Vegeta. The two continued to fall, powerless. There is a huge splash, and all three Saiyans begin to fall further and further underwater, each of them back in their base form. A piece of debris touches Goku's face, and he comes to his senses. He looks around and sees Broly on his left and Vegeta on his right. Goku was extremely low in energy, but he could do something. Turning Super Saiyan for speed, Goku swims over to Vegeta, teleporting him to Beerus' planet. Whis tries to tell him something, but Goku didn't listen. He didn't have time. Goku teleported back and teleported Broly onto Beerus' planet. Goku falls back, tired.
Where's Kaioshin? Is he not here?
He was in the middle of saving the people on the planet.
Beerus' heart drops, but Goku instantly teleports back to Namek. Looking around for a little, he overhears Kibito's voice.
Over here!
Goku rushes over to him. Kibito was dragging the unconscious body of Kaioshin and a small Namekian boy. Goku smiled at Kibito, nodding at him as he grabbed the two people. However, as he grabbed them, he reverted back to his base form. No matter what he tried, he couldn't teleport. He was completely out. Kibito gulped, then looked around. He knew what he needed to do as he placed a hand on Goku's shoulder.
I'm really proud of you, Kakarot. You taught Shin and I a lot. Now it's time for me to pay you back.
Goku felt a flash of ki curse through his body, enough to teleport himself and two others away. Kibito falls unconscious. Goku realizes what he's done. He gave all his power, all that he had left, to Goku so he could save the Namekian and Kaioshin. With a heavy heart, Goku teleported to Beerus' world once more. Quickly, he dropped the two and ran over to Whis.
Please, I don't have any energy left. Give me some. I need to save Kibito.
But Namek,
Please.
Just as the angel healed Goku, he saw a flash of light cover the inside of the old Kaioshin's crystal ball. And then, nothing. Namek was gone. Many people were dead, and Kibito along with them. Goku dropped to the ground with his aura bursting open and a silver flare punching the ground over and over again. Whis was forced to chop them in the back of the neck, knocking him out. It was over. The battle was done, and the Namekians were left without a planet. A bunch of soldiers without an emperor, and Frieza was out there somewhere. They all knew it. They needed help from others to deal with this, it seemed. Goku still wanted to help the Namekians, give them a new planet, revive everyone who had been killed by Frieza, and avenge them. Perhaps...
Looks like your universe is in chaos again, huh, brother? Too bad my universe has half the Super Dragon Balls, or this would be much easier for you, huh?
Hey guys, that concludes what I would call Season 1, or the Z portion of the Kaioshin story. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you guys want Season 2, quote-unquote, that would cover Zamasu, maybe the Tournament of Power, you know, Universe 6, stuff like that, be sure to share with friends who might enjoy this. Either this full video or the individual parts, just so I can know that you guys want to continue the story. Thank you for the positive reception to the Kaioshin story, as well as my most recent video, What If Goku and Vegeta Went Back in Time. I'm definitely excited to continue that one. I think there's a lot of potential for stories like that. So if you haven't checked that one out yet, it'll be at the end of the video or in the description below. Anyways guys, regular videos will be back up next week. Sorry about this compilation. I usually make new videos every week. It's just that with summer school, it's been kinda crazy. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and until we meet again, see ya!
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SmugStick, unless you want to be destroyed.
Lord Beerus, that's hardly fair. But also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when he uploads new videos.